Hi, this is Amber from NotableInk.com. I'm hopping along with Altenew today for the Celebrating Parents card drive and blog hop. This card is inspired by a comment that I got on a card that I posted on Facebook, which also used the Rennie Rose stamp set. And Sandra O'Keefe left the comment saying how much she loved Charles Rennie Mackintosh stained glass design. And that got me doing a little research online, and that's what inspired this card. So again, we're using Altenew Rennie Roses and Wild Hibiscus. We're going to use the sentiment from that set. So let's get started. So this is a really simple card. It's not often that I do a one layer card, but that's what we're doing today, just clean and simple. So I'm only going to use one rose. I'm going to go ahead and use the mask from the mask stencil set, and I'm going to go ahead and use my T-square ruler to just draw some lines. So if you look up the stained glass designs, often this is what you'll see. You'll kind of see a few lines and then a couple just embellishments on those lines. So I'm doing a similar design here. And my lines aren't going to be perfectly spaced, and that's totally okay. I think another thing that would be cool with this design is if you did some heat embossing and kind of made those lines more molten like you would see with the lead glass stained glass, or also if you did it on vellum. Vellum would also be really cool because it'd have that see-through effect, and then you could use the artist markers to color the backside of the vellum. So there's another idea there. I'm going to heat set the ink. I used permanent black ink, which is alcohol marker safe, but I want to make sure that the pen that I used doesn't smear, so I go ahead and heat set it before I color. You can see the colors that I use there. I can't remember the exact name, the color names of those, but I will have the products linked below, and I'll have the color names listed in my blog post. So these colors blend so beautifully. I mean, I just love it. So sometimes I'll go back in with a little bit more of the darkest color for a higher contrast, but oftentimes I really just need to do the one layer and that's it. So when I'm deciding where I'm going to put the darkest part of the petal, I just try to put it next to the lighter color if I can. That way there's not two dark spots next to each other. I just find that that adds greater contrast to have the dark next to the light. So that's something to think about when you're coloring up your image. And the other thing that you want to do with these flowers or any other flowers is follow the contour of the petal. So like right there, I didn't really do that all that well, but you want to make sure that your strokes are curved like the curve of the petal. I hope that makes sense. That just gives it a more cohesive look, and I don't know, it just looks more natural. Not that these are realistic flowers, but you know what I'm saying. So finishing up the rose here, and then we'll move on to the leaves. And I am using Frayed Leaf, which is the lightest color that you see there. And what's the other one? Forest Glades. So Forest Glades for the shadow, and then Frayed Leaf. And I have got to get the Tropical Floor. I've got to get Set E. Set E has my favorite greens in it, so that is on my wish list. I can't wait to get that because those are just my favorite greens. Anyhow, I digress. So with these little embellishments that I have here, I kind of wish I had alternated and just done two of the squares in each one of the blocks. That's part of what I saw in the designs that I saw when I looked this up. I also wish I had stopped with my shading right here, but for whatever reason, I then go over the whole thing. I don't know why I did that. It's so strange. Anyhow, so we're moving on to our sentiment. And again, this sentiment is from the Wild Hibiscus set, which has some great Mother's Day sentiments in it, which of course is coming up. So if you don't have that set, it's a really great one for those sentiments. And obviously the flowers in that set are just gorgeous. So I'm stamping this in permanent black ink, and then we'll be done. So this is just a really simple, I didn't even pop this panel up, which is something that I normally do. You can see how gorgeous all the colors look. I did go and reinforce those lines. I had initially tried to use a thicker pen to more closely match the stamp lines, but that pen was dried out and I needed to use a finer one. So I just went back in and made those lines a little bit thicker with my pen and not with the ruler, which is why you see that they're a little sketchy. But I think that's cool because if you think about stained glass, those aren't perfect lines either. So kind of just adds to the look. I've added links to the other 2 cards that I made for this blog hop here, so be sure to check those out, and don't forget to leave a comment on my blog for a chance to win the giveaway. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please like and subscribe or share this out so other people can enjoy it as well. Thanks so much. Have a great day.